Hello, man of God. I am so glad you're here at underscore freedom for life underscore. Over these next 5 conversations, I'm going to give you 5 things. It's really 5 mistakes that Christian husbands make that jeopardize the trust in their relationship. But not only that, I'm going to give you the 5 hacks that you can use to overcome that and to turn it around. So today, the first conversation is going to be around this. Mistake number 1 is being present but not engaged. I know you've been there, right? I know I've been there in my own life where you're really not engaged with your family. You're not engaged with your wife. You're maybe watching TV together, or you're kind of in the same room, driving in the same car, but you're having 2 different conversations. There's a conversation that she's having with you, and then there's the conversation that you're having in your head. I've been there myself where I'm maybe not engaged in what we're doing because I've got this roadmap of what I need to get done today, this week, or I've got these conversations I need to have, or I've got these problems that I need to solve, or I'm really just tired and wore out or whatever from my week of slaying dragons and, winning battles just like you are. But in that place, when you're present, meaning you're in the room but you're not engaged, you can get there when you start to ask questions like, what did you say? Or you ask a question that she's already answered. Again, been there as well. The problem is when my body's in the room, but my mind is miles away, when I'm thinking of other things outside of the room, what that really is showing is a lack of value in the relationship. What that really is saying, it's that unintentional thought and that's unintentional outcome that says this: you're not important enough for me to pay attention to, or I've got other things that I need to worry about, so I'm not going to be involved in this conversation. We don't say it, we don't really feel it, but just being in disengagement is the way that they interpret it. And because of that, it's the way that it is. Maybe your wife feels unseen or unheard or unfelt because she can't get you to be a part of the conversation. And worse than that, sometimes, this is a sidebar, not the mistake, but worse than that sometimes is us trying to solve it for them. I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to hear you out. I don't want to hear about your feelings or engage in the conversation. I really want to just try to fix the problem so I can move on to the thing that I want to do. And so in that place, they can start to feel unheard or unseen or unfelt. And in that, they can start to pull away because trust isn't being built, because I can't trust you with who I am. And in that place, you lose the opportunity to have deeper conversations and a higher level of unity. So that's the mistake, right? Being in the room, but not really being present in the room. What's the fix? The fix is first and foremost recognizing that you're doing it. And then those places where my wife has to tell me, I already answered that question, or I already told you that, it's really understanding, oh, okay, I need to be engaged here. I need to, when you're talking and I'm talking, I need to be listening. It's called active listening if you talk about, conversational styles. And active listening means I'm paying attention to what you're saying so that I can understand what you're talking about, versus I'm really in the middle of doing something, or I'm distracted by the TV show or the sports game or the thing I'm trying to figure out that I need to do, right? How I need to pay the bills, how I need to get that task done, or whatever the thing is that I'm trying to do. So it's disengaging from those activities and understanding that I need to consciously pay attention and having not just listen intently and listen confidently, but ask intentional questions. And part of that is some of the worst conversations I have with my wife where we're in bed and I'm on my device and she's on her device. And the second one is when we're watching a TV show. So we're watching things and we're going, our attention is towards the screens and away from each other. The best conversations I have are when my wife and I go out on a date, when we are right across from each other and we're having conversation with each other and we're having the opportunity to talk to each other. So the first thing is asking intentional questions, really being engaged in the conversation, active listening, being able to say, hey, I need to focus on what she's saying, not so I can get an answer, not so I can solve a problem, but so I can hear the intent of your heart, what you're trying to share with me and what my part of it is. And then the next thing is locking eyes, looking at you and talking to you versus talking to each other while looking somewhere else. And the next thing is maybe something you can build as a habit. Intentionality happens with active listening, active conversation, but it also happens with activities. And maybe an activity you can use to help with that is to pray together. The more I invite my wife into that place with me, the more I lead in that place of prayer with her, the more I understand what her heart is. And it doesn't just mean that I'm in proximity to her, right? Presence isn't proximity, it's purpose. And purpose means me investing in the relationship. So I'm investing in the listening skills. I'm investing in locking in with you. I'm investing in active listening so I hear what you're saying and hearing the intent behind what you're saying. Maybe I'm bringing an activity into our relationship where we're praying together so I can start to hear the heart of my wife and she can start to hear mine. Because the truth of the matter is, part of what is being lost is me being able to share me. My worries, my issues, my challenges, my hopes, my dreams, my beliefs, my visions for who we are and where we're going. It's in that place that I'm not just present in body, but present in person. So the first biggest challenge is this: being present but not engaged. The fix: active listening, intentional questions, locking eyes together, maybe praying together, adding an activity where we get those times. Or maybe on a date, my wife and I, while we're on dates, I'll ask her, how are you? When we're driving somewhere, I'll ask her, how are you doing? Away from the activities and all the busyness of life, how are you doing? And then listening for the answer, not to find a solution for her, but to see where she's at, to engage where she's at emotionally and relationally so that I understand, is she getting wore out? Is she getting distracted? Is she getting stressed? Is she getting overwhelmed? And then sharing part of me with her as well. Part of that engagement isn't just me getting to hear what you need and what you desire and where you're at, but sharing where I'm at as well. You should be valued as much as she is. And some of that is us holding back who we are because we got to be the answer man. We got to be Mr. Fix-It. We got to be the solution person. And in that place, really being able to engage who we are and invite her into that place. So don't be just present but not engaged. Be engaged in that relationship, and you'll make sure that that mistake, the first mistake, isn't the one you make. Hi, I'm Mark. I'm glad you're here. And _Freedom for Life _ is the channel. What I desire from you is that investment of your time by becoming part of the membership, right? Subscribe to what we're doing if it matters to you. Down below, I've got a Life Mastery course. I've got a Life Mastery book. I got an opportunity for you to get on my calendar and have a conversation as to what Life Mastery means for you. It is partially about that relationship with your wife, but really it's showing up as who you are, understanding your identity and the life you're created for, and in that place being able to live it out. And being that husband and being that father and being that man in the relationship that you're created to be. It all starts with identity. It all starts with Life Mastery. Want to know more about that? Check out the link in the description or the calendar to have the conversation. And if you do nothing else, dominate your day.